Good evening. I'd like to call the Lawrence City Council meeting to order. Today's Tuesday, February 5th. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Council Vasquez. Here. Council LaPlante.
Here.
Council Toomey.
Here.
Council Reyes.
Present.
Council Almonte.
Present.
Council Aquino.
Present.
Council Brunel.
Present.
Council Vice President Rivera.
Present.
And Council President Moran.
Please rise for a moment of silence. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Council, the first item on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes for January 15. I need a motion to approve.
So move.
Need a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is public participation. Participant, you have 2.5 minutes to state your comments. After 2 minutes, the bell will ring. You have 30 seconds to wrap up your comments. Please address the city council as a whole, not as individual. First participant, Jonas Stanza. Name and address for the record, please, Jonas.
My name is Jonas Stunza, 37 Bruce Street, Lawrence, Mass. I'm here to inform the City Council of our neighborhoods concerned with the development of the Holy Trinity Complex located on Trinity, Avon, and Bruce Streets. The property was previously owned by the Archdiocese and had been sitting vacant for 4 years. Showing no intent to sell the property, it quickly fell in disrepair. The Lawrence Planning Department took away the nonprofit status usage after such a long period of time, and then the complex was quickly sold to a developer for $300,000 in March of 2012. That's just about a year ago. The site is located dead center in a residential neighborhood. It's residential from Jackson Street to Lawrence Street, all the way to Berkeley Street. And at present, the church structure is being used commercially. The church itself is being used as a gym with morning and evening classes. The concerns of the citizens in the neighborhood is that the intent to convert the property has not been done, as what was to go through planning board and zoning board and to have it completed as a multi-family and multi-dwelling complex. Inspectional services have not stopped this commercial use. Inspectional services have not checked the electrical and heating, and there has been no occupancy permit granted to the site. So the question is it legally being used? There is a severe roof leakage problem, which has existed for over 10 years. Councilor Toomey has tried to intervene, but has been ignored basically by the inspectional services, and we don't understand why. We'd like to have due process to keep our residential neighborhood, which is R2, R3 zone, kept intact. 75 members of the neighborhood have signed this petition, and we'd like to present it to the city council and ask our city councilor to take the concerns of our neighborhood to heart, that we'd like to keep our neighborhood strong as R2, R3. To whom do I present the?
Actually, you can leave it on the table.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonas. Before I go to the next name here, I'd just like to recognize 3 of the state delegation that are here. Senator Feingold, Senator, wow, I almost called you Senator DeZoglio, Representative DeZoglio, and Representative Devers. Thank you for being here. Next participant, H. Mali. Mr. Mali, name and address for the record, please.
Humayun Mali, 53 Chester Street. Good evening, honorable members of Lawrence City Council. We as the citizen demand support of our police department and their union. With the best thanks to Honorable Mayor Lantigua for moving Lawrence forward, approving patrolman union contract. With the best leadership of Honorable Chief Romeo, crime rate in our city went down 19%. Thanks to Honorable Chief Romeo and our police officers, we request for you do not touch their budget at this election year. We as the citizen are grateful to our DPW with a few employees and all the equipment have done the best for our city. Support our DPW in their upcoming contract negotiation in the year 2013. Our firefighters need your support in their contract negotiation. The firefighters for a long time we are working without any contract. We demand of you support our friend and our firefighter, Team Atwood, has been a friend and firefighter for our city. Speak up and support him in this election year. Honorable Mayor Lantigua, as a wonderful mayor, brought to our city, to our children, Harvard Scholar Superintendent Raleigh to rescue Lawrence Public School. In its first years of the turnaround plan, we can see that Lawrence Public School has moving forward. Superintendent Raleigh has laid foundation for Lawrence Public School to become the best public school in not only Massachusetts, but the whole nation. Thanks to Mayor Lantigua, in this important election year, we as the citizen request support of our police officer and their union, support our wonderful firefighters and our DPW. Our message to our Mayor Lantigua is 4 more years. Thank you.
Thank you. Next participant, Kathy Runge. Name and address for the record, please, Kathy.
Kathy Runge, 32 Draycott Street. Good evening, councilors, and thank you for this opportunity. Once again, I'm not going to recite the recent embarrassing headlines regarding this city, but I wonder, how many city employees have done something that they didn't think was best for this city because they were afraid to lose their jobs? I don't blame them, but it's disgusting. How many high-level city employees have had that thought go through their minds? You people sitting up there are the one group that shouldn't have that going through your minds. You know, if you do, then you shouldn't be up there. You have a duty to do what's best for this city. I'm bringing this up because the council has some prospective ordinances at the committee level that might not be so popular on the 3rd floor. One being an automatic recall election if a mayor is indicted. Now, if you're waiting for an opinion on this from some city employee before you proceed, ask yourselves if this person isn't worried about losing their job. And maybe you should consider that after waiting 3.5 months, an opinion won't be coming. You should move this legislation forward. The citizens of Lawrence deserve a vote from the council on this issue. We deserve to see where the councilors stand. Thank you.
Thank you. Next participant, Dick Russell. Name and address for the record, please, Richard.
Good evening, councilors, honored guests. My name is Dick Russell. I live at 34 Cross Street in the city. I'm a homeowner and a taxpayer. Therefore, I think I have the right to say what's on my mind. In a little while, the mayor will be given his State of the City address, which you no doubt will paint as a rosy picture. Unfortunately, with roses, you get thorns. I'm the bearer of the thorns. Where do I start? Let's start with the police department, with 4 officers with legal problems that are suspended with pay for a variety of reasons, costing us well over $300,000 a year. I assume the overseer has a game plan in place to recover the salaries if convicted. Let's slide to the fire department, where a firefighter, Tim Atwood, was terminated for health reasons that were partially exacerbated by poor fire station upkeep. Let's slide over to the DPW. I have no problems with some of the DPW's cost-cutting actions. I do have issues with appointments of a secretary and a former recycling supervisor to positions that they are not qualified for. How can we forget the mayor replacing Tom Sapienza, who was terminated while caring for his wife during her terminal illness? He replaced him with Jose Santiago. The citizens have some serious issues with the voting registration process and the voting list, and the state officials don't seem to see any problem. The fiasco with the licensing board, first with Jose Garcia, then with Martin Torres, one of which switched political parties several weeks prior to applying for the position, both being disqualified due to procedural issues. Lastly, how can we forget 2 different individuals being appointed a special council meeting where the mayor called a special council meeting where no public input was allowed? Lastly, I mentioned the lawsuit involving Tom Duggan and the Valley Patriot that has with the city about the Diadamo public records request. These records were deemed public domain by the city's attorney and the Secretary of State's Public Records Division. It's bad enough somebody is trying to hide something, but why does he have to hire an expensive legal firm from Boston to defend his non-release of those public records? It's also quite possible the city will have to pick up the legal expenses of both Duggan and the Valley Patriot. Other than that, I guess things are pretty rosy, but as he hands out roses during the speech, watch out for the thorns. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next participant, Mark LaPlante. Councilor LaPlante.
Mark LaPlante, Lawrence City Council, 29 Durso Ave. I know the mayor's going to be giving his State of the City address today, and I'm not sure what he's going to be bringing up, but I have a few questions that I hope that he does bring up during his speech. Number one, our property taxes are increasing and our house values are dropping, and still our services are being reduced. According to the DOR, our average tax bill increased by 19% and house values dropped by 27%. What are we doing to bring some stability and tax equity to the citizens of our city? Even with paying more taxes, the police department remains understaffed. When the mayor took office, we had about 145 police officers. Now we are down to 120. Understandably, the crime rate is still high in 2012, but the understaffed department is still higher than what it was before 2010. We are paying the salaries of 4 officers even though they are not working. The mayor can suspend without pay 2 of these officers who are indicted. Why isn't he doing that and saving the city $200,000? Unemployment is over 14%, and yet I have yet to hear the mayor talk about his plan to help our neighbors who are unemployed and looking for a job. What is the Signature Economic Development Initiative in 2012? And how many jobs were created in 2012 due to the city's initiative? What is the game plan to retain the fire department when their SAFER grant expires? What is the game plan to more fully staff our police department? What is the game plan to utilize the empty and abandoned Bailey Street and Ames Street fire stations? Last summer, the CD department met with interested stakeholders and citizens to work on reviving Canal Street area. What has happened with that project? And the mayor has embarrassed us repeatedly. In 2012, he has continued hiring unqualified supporters, most specifically to key DPW positions. What is being done to repair the city's image? To stop making our government the laughingstock across the state. Thank you.
Thank you. That is public participation. These names will be submitted to the clerk office to be archived. Mr. Clerk. Councilor, I'd like to take a couple of items out of order before we can have the mayor come and give his State of the City address. I'd like to take, if I can entertain a motion to take document 14-13 out of order.
So moved.
Or your second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is document 14-13, resolution, Maria Cristina Payano. This item was submitted by Councilor Vasquez. Councilor Vasquez.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the council. It is an honor for me to be standing on this side of the chamber today because I would like to highlight some positive things that are going on in the community. I think it's important for all of us to be aware of 2 beautiful young ladies who are going to the city of Miami starting tomorrow at 5 in the morning to be able to represent the city of Lawrence in a national beauty pageant. And they have been great leaders already, and I think it's important to call Maria Cristina Payano to the front. And I will quickly read this resolution that we all signed and presented to her because of her achievement. Maria? And it reads as follows. We, the members of the City Council of Lawrence, Massachusetts, by and through this resolution hereby recognize the professional, civic, and personal achievement of Maria Cristina Payano. Whereas Maria is a lifelong resident of the city of Lawrence and has completed her education as a student in the Lawrence Public Schools. Whereas Maria serves as a role model to the community through civic and community involvement and is known as a youth leader and active volunteer in nonprofit and community organizations in the Lawrence community. Whereas Maria was crowned Queen of the Lawrence Dominican Festival in 2009, was named Miss Massachusetts Latina USA in 2011, and was also third finalist in the Miss Dominican Republic USA competition. Whereas Maria continues to be successful in her current pageant achievements by being chosen to participate in Nuestra Belleza Latina, a national beauty contest. Whereas Maria continues to succeed through dedication and hard work, to which we will assure continued success, honor, and achievement. Wherefore, we, the members of the Lawrence City Council, in Massachusetts and through this resolution, hereby recognize the professional, civic, and personal achievement of Maria Cristina Payano, wishing her continued success, and hereby set our hands in the cast of the seal of the City of Lawrence, Massachusetts, to be affixed here to the 4th day of February 2013. Congratulations, Maria.
Council, I have another document. Can we take document 15-13 out of order?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is document 15-13, resolution Josibel Valdez. Council Vasquez.
Again, thank you very much, Mr. President. I would also like to, would like to call to the front Josibel Valdez. This resolution is also being presented to Josibel because of her great achievements in the city of Lawrence. And I will quickly read the resolution, and it goes like this. We, the members of the City Council of Lawrence, Massachusetts, by and through this resolution, hereby recognize the professional, civic, and personal achievement of Josibel Valdez, and hereby state as follows. Whereas, as a resident of the city of Lawrence, Josibel serves as a role model by and through civic and community involvement as a leader and active volunteer for nonprofit community organizations. Whereas, as a young entrepreneur, Josibel is also well acquainted with the effort necessary to maintain a successful small business which she presently owns and operates. Whereas, Josibel is known for her competitive success in the community by being crowned the Queen of the Lawrence Dominican Festival in 2010 and being the third finalist for Miss Belleza Latina Boston in 2012. Whereas, Josibel has continued to be successful in her current pageant commitments and was chosen to participate in Nuestra Belleza Latina, a national beauty contest. Whereas, Josibel has demonstrated complete dedication and hard work to all of her endeavors, assuring continued success, honor, and achievement. Wherefore, we, the members of the Lawrence City Council in Massachusetts, present this resolution and hereby recognize the professional, civic, and personal achievement of Josibel Valdez, wishing her continued success, and hereby set our hands in the cast of the seal of the City of Lawrence, Massachusetts, to be affixed hereto on the 4th day of February 2013. Congratulations, Josibel.
Thank you, Council Vasquez. Girls, good luck, and I know you are on your way to the airport now. As you go, think about the great city of Lawrence. We're already proud of you, so good luck. Next item on the agenda is communication from Mayor, City Official, and City Attorney. Document 3-13, State of the City Address. This item was submitted by Mayor Lantigua. Mayor, welcome to the William X. Wall Chambers. Do I need to get a bottle of water, Mr. Mayor?
I hope that at the end of my remarks, if not all, and I know that will not be all of you, but most of you, will conclude that what you can see not just with your eyes, but with your conscience, is that the state of the city is on the rise, and that Lawrence still and will continue moving forward, despite of what you hear sometimes, as you hear a few minutes ago. So Lawrence is on the rise. A great city of Lawrence is moving forward. Council President, Mr. Moran, City Council, fellow Lawrencians, good evening. Tonight, once again, I come before you to talk about our city, the great city of Lawrence. Let there be no question, the state of the city is strong and rising. And the good thing about it is that, as I will mention later tonight on my remarks, is that although some choose not to see it, those who in the financial world matter, those who do the ratings, they see it otherwise. Not because they want to do me a favor, but because that is a reality. Lawrence is moving forward. Unfortunately, the whole story is not always told, as I just repeated in another word, and the full measure of progress is rarely reported. So tonight, I am here before you to tell you, in part, things that you know. To tell you and the residents of Lawrence that our city future is bright. And I beg your pardon because some of what I'm saying, you already know because you are part of it. It's not just the mayor alone, it's not just my administration. It's all of us together, including those who at times choose not to participate and to be on the opposite side just because it's glamorous. But even in doing that, they help me to stay focused and to continue doing the right thing alongside with most of you. So that's a good thing. For the past 3 years, we have been asked to make sweeping changes. We have been focused on we have been also asked and forced to make numerous of tough and popular decisions. And I said that the last time I came before you. And we have made some tough decisions since those days. But with our executive and legislative branches, so you are a part of it, working together, we have made our city a much better city. Tremendous stride, tremendous to improve our city. We're going to talk about public safety. And my apology, I didn't even look to see if Chief Romero was here. He is. Thank you, Chief. And thank you, Captain McNamara also. Great job. I am proud to say that thanks to the restoration of public safety personnel, and it was one of those tough decisions that we were forced to make, but responsibly we made it, because it had to be made, laying off police and fire and other. But we are proud to say that today, thanks to the restoration again of those public safety personnel, crime has dropped to the lowest level in nearly a decade. A decade is 10 years for those who might choose not to know what that is. Lowest level. Crime down, lowest level in 10 years. Our homicide rate is at the lowest since 2005. And last year, Chief, I believe there was 2 homicides. And even though one is one too many, and it's difficult sometimes to explain when you talk about that, because it could easily sound as we were happy that 2 people lost their life. That's not what we meant. It's that compared to years in the past, 2 were far lower than those prior to. And again, the credit goes to the men and women of the police department and the community that is also out there looking out for ourselves. We have seen a 33% decrease in auto theft, real number, not propaganda, not make-believe, not adjustment, real number, 33% reduction. 20% in burglary, and a major reduction in Part 1 felony crimes. Under the leadership of Chief John Romero, our police force has restored a special unit division, as I mentioned earlier, and is making more arrests and is making our street more secure. The last time I came before you, and I'm going to repeat it, more than half of the people that get arrested for drug dealing in the great city of Lawrence, and I hope some news media print that, are people that come from other town, from the surrounding town, not from Lawrence, and quite a few of them from New Hampshire. So even though we get the bad press, yes, I'm glad that the chief is arresting the seller, but I hope the other community arrest their user. In the coming days, we will be making a significant announcement to help police take weapons off our city street. And I ask, and I seek the full support of all of you, the members of our city council, to make this initiative possible. As we applaud the police for protecting our community, we must also provide a tool for them to do their safety, to do their job safely and properly. Very sad, but in wake of the tragic shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, I have met with Chief Romero, the clergy, and others to discuss the pressing need for security in and around our school. And I'm glad our superintendent is here, Jeff Riley, who's doing a lot of good work, of which you're going to hear a little bit about it later. I feel confident that we have measures in place to keep our children safe. However, in the discussion, I learned that our officers are not equipped with the same weaponry that they may be confronted when on the street. I call it debating criminals and in hostage situation. And that is not acceptable. So tonight, Council Member, Council President, I am submitting to you an addendum to the supplemental appropriation that you passed last month to provide the city police cruiser with high-power rifle to safeguard officers and residents alike. I ask for this to be taken up immediately and further ask for your support, as I already said earlier. And at the end of my remarks, I will submit this to you. That is that addendum. Our fire department, under the leadership of Chief Jack Bergeron, has made tremendous strides during the past year and will continue to do so in 2013. We reopened in Engine 6 last winter. And as I tell you, when some of you try to give me credit for good things that happens, because all of us, I will also tell you when people try to blame me for things that I have nothing to do with. One of the fire stations that is closed was closed long before my time. But on my remark, you will hear what we did, that you were part of it, and what we will continue to do. We reopened Engine 6 last winter to provide faster response to the Prosper Hill area. Council Almonte drove me not crazy, calling me every day about it. You were successful, but it was our intention to do that anyway, but I'm glad that you keep pushing for it. We finally got it open last winter. We also purchased a new ladder truck, which replaced a 25-year-old vehicle that is now out of service, 25 years old. The department is working aggressively on proactive enforcement, prevention code, and fire investigation. The past months has been having a trying one. And you all know, you've seen it, been all over the news, but we that live here, we see it up close. As firefighters battled intense blaze in really cold temperature, but they did so, and this is what really makes us all proud of them. They did so without the loss of human life. It's very significant. But unfortunately, some of our personnel suffer injuries, and this evening, as we do it every day, we wish for the full recovery to all of those firefighters been here in the line of duty, especially most recently. In the upcoming month, we will hire 7 new firefighters to our existing workforce to continue the department progress. This program will continue under my watch. A public safety budget, and I hope those who are taking note take note of this one. Our public safety budget will not be compromised as long as I am in office. We have gone through a lot of pain. A lot of pain. When to balance the budget, as I said earlier, we needed to make very, very tough decisions, and we made it, and I'm proud of it. But I also question sometimes why those measures were not taking place or done before my time. The problem was there. And it's unfortunate to say that some presidents choose to ignore it. But we'll go on. It's a positive night. When we talk about education, I will tell you proudly, education is on the rise, and education and learning is also moving forward. 2 years ago, after listening to the poor excuses of many, many years, of the single mom syndrome, or the bad neighborhood, or the people that sound like I do, lousy when I speak English, or Ryan, that our children could not be educated because they were hard to teach because they were not smart enough. And we know that was, like the Italians say, baloney. We knew that. But we didn't have a tool in our hand to demonstrate that until there was a lower performance school at the Arlington complex where you had 2 schools. One was doing good, one was doing bad. Then on the South Lawrence complex, 2 schools. One was doing good, one was doing bad. And I'm sorry if you hear the story 20 times, there'll be another 20 for the next 4 years. I hope that you will hear it from me every time before I come to you. In one of those schools, in each one of those schools, one that was underperforming gave me the reason to go to Boston and demonstrate and show that those kids were from the same family, from the same broken home, as they call it, from the same bad neighborhood, and they speak the same language as I am speaking to you now, maybe worse. But yes, some were doing very well, some pretty bad. So the state, when I call, got some interest. And I will continue because later on I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So again, 2 years ago, when I expressed my deep dissatisfaction in the start of our underperforming public school, the discussion led to consistent positive development in the city school system. As I mentioned earlier, Jeff Riley, our superintendent, was brought in to reorganize the school department from top to bottom. At the outset, Mr. Riley, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me by repeating this, at the outset, Mr. Riley told me that dishes needed to be broken. And in order to implement these changes, and I am happy to report that we are now starting to pick up the pieces of those issues that were broken because we're doing much, much better and turning our school around. New parents are working with our students throughout the district, and I applaud that because they're doing super. For example, Phoenix Academy is concentrating effort on students who were once lost and unfocused. Graduating rates are on the rise, as you saw all over the media not long ago, and our turnaround plan continues to meet or exceed our ambitious goals. That's super. That's super, super. On the budget side, on the budget side of the house, I am happy to know that during the first year of the Lawrence turnaround plan, in fiscal year 2013, the city has met its net school spending requirement. We will do everything within our reach to continue this progress, because it is significant. They need that money. We must all support the turnaround effort. Our city future depends upon the next generation of hardworking, well-educated young people. And I am glad that I asked the state for help. I will always keep repeating, because I did, and they came. And I'm very glad. The results are very good. The fiscal help is also on the rise. During the past year, we have continued to improve our financial situation. It is not as tricky. That's another thing that you will get sick or tired of listening from, because I will remind you every time I have an opportunity. And I'm going to repeat, our fiscal health is on the rise. During the past year, we have continued to improve our financial situation. We once again submitted a balanced budget to the state on time, with real revenue projection, not fake, not overvalue, no gimmicks. And that's hard to do when you come into a city close to a $30 million deficit, among other problems that were ignored by many. But I'm glad you notice it now, because I'm there to make it right. All Department of Revenue reporting requirements continue to be met, and for the third year in a row, I repeat, our budget was certified, and once again, we have certified free cash. Let me be clear, when we say free cash, it is not cash that's free to be spent, because some people do get confused with that. It's a reserve of money put aside that when you do all your numbers, your budget, and everything goes accordingly to plan, and you're aggressive collecting taxes and doing the things that need to be done, that's how you generate free cash. I don't like the name of free because it created bad perception. I hope we can change it, but that's a state mandate. The most significant sign of our improved financial situation came by way of our bond rating, as I mentioned earlier. Those are the people, the professional, that look at many measurements and give the city, give the bank, give a specific industry a rating of what they think the financial situation is. In August, both two of the most prestigious or well-respected rating agency, Standard & Poor's and Moody Investors, increased our bonding rating and gave us a stable outlook. It was reported, not with a lot of noise. We were jumping up there because we know it was a great thing. So we're happy with that. This has not happened in more than 6 years, and we only been in office 3. It is the result of Herculean effort on which we should all feel justifiably proud, not just administration, all of you, because a lot of what we do also come through you or from you. Our free cash is due to hard work, as I said earlier, on the part of my administration. And if you have noted, not often I say I always say we, us. But that's how it's supposed to be. Members of this council and my administration, our partners in the state government, see Senator Barry Feingold, Senator DiSoglio, Representative DiSoglio, who knows what the preacher brings, Representative Marco Devers, I don't know if we have any other members of the state delegation here. Sorry? I already mentioned Council Brother, my apology, my friend. Listen, it's the man with two hats. The good thing about the hat that you wear now as a rep and as a council is not a hat as the one I was wearing when I had the two positions, but I'm proud to call you also our state representative and our council president, sir. I respect. And I have to mention a gentleman we're going to have a lot of, I will call it friendly fights. Oh, they're usually friendly. Mr. Bob Noon, our overseer. He had given me the reason to tell people this is why there are some things that we need to do. But I will tell you, a lot of the good things that happen in our financial arena happens because of the security order that we put in place. That you cannot spend anything more than $1,000 without our approval. Create a lot of work, but we're glad to do it. And that cut in a lot of perhaps misspending or use of resources in things that maybe were not needed at the time. So I'm glad that we did that, and that's why we have the free cash, and our financial rating and all of that is so good. And I'm glad, and I thank all of you for being part of it. I ask that we continue this headway as we discuss new and improved software enhancement to strengthen our finance department and manage everything from payroll to attendance to work orders. It is not a secret that a lot of the equipment in the City of Lawrence, it's equipment that's very old. We are not up to date in software and in many other areas. And, as I said earlier, coming into a city with a deficit close to $30 million, it makes it hard to buy new equipment, new software. Getting out of that, that's what we are starting to do, buying equipment and things that we need, not only to facilitate a better service to the people we serve, but also to facilitate a more efficiency job to those who perform a day in and day out at City Hall. Total different atmosphere now than we had before. And I thank all of those that work here for that. These are all of the cost-saving measures, and I need your support in moving them forward. So I'll be coming to you to have a much longer conversation another day. Last fall, I also appointed a capital improvement committee to come out with a list of projects and purchases that are needed to bring us into the future. This committee will list, this list will be extensive and over budget, as always capital improvement projects are. However, we must prioritize and come out with a funding mechanism to integrate these priorities into our various departments. I welcome your input and have already worked at the input of some of you who have wished to participate. And I also ask for your support to move this plan forward for the future of our city, the great city of Lawrence in the upcoming years. Community development, and we have sitting behind me one of the best in the country, and I'm not shy to say, and I hope you still stay with us much longer, even though lately we disagreed in one thing for the first time. It's a good thing, but we have Jim Barn. When I'm out of the city and I'm asked, Willie, out of the things that you feel are most proud of as an achievement, can you name a few? I do name a few, because I think we have many. But one of those that I never left out is being able to convince Jim to stay with us and not to go to a national company to make more money, have an easier job. And he stayed in Lawrence because here, everything he does, his fingerprinting would stay in the city, with the city, forever. And I'm out there most proud to thank Jim once again publicly for sticking by us. So he's the director of community development. And as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and our nation battle tough economic times, we are thankful to see continued investment in our great city of Lawrence. Two of the most noticeable projects, the Speaker River Greenway and the renovation of Campanile Common, right across the street from here, are almost at completion. The Speaker River Greenway is one of my personal favorites. And working with Groundwork Lawrence has done a super job. The city is really creating a showpiece for healthy community and public infrastructure. Campanile Common is currently in phase 2 of development. These two will be a centerpiece for all residents to enjoy in the upcoming years. Whether playing dominoes, I'm lousy at it, but I play sometime. Reading a book or taking a walk in the park, giving public access to fresh, green, open space will be a noticeable achievement of those two projects. The past years opened the door to over 200 new units of housing. Mr. Bryan was in the forefront of all of that. Most noticeable was the ribbon cutting of Law 550 and Malden Mills. And if you remember, many other projects in the past have been on the board, having talked to, have come before you, and for whatever reason, they never came to frustration until the last group came and we got more serious than before. And, with the cooperation of all of us, those good things happen. The Law 550 at Malden Mills created 75 units of housing through the effort of wind development, and I'm glad that they trust the city of Lawrence and they came here and elsewhere where they were being recruited to go. Our city of Lawrence provided home funding through GM and community development and community economic development and planning department. Creatively declared a smart growth overlay district which proved instrumental to get that project to completion. Without that, it would not happen. We continue to see construction of new homes by Charles Hope Company, a company that can also pack up and leave and go elsewhere. And that family said, now we're going to continue helping the great city of Lawrence. Because to them, their heart is worth a lot more than the money, and that's why they are here. And I also want to thank the Hope family for sticking by us. Send the Bread and Roses housing through our neighborhood stabilization program. We also accomplished that. Monarch Loft made brand new units available recently to new Lawrencians and continue to develop the historic Wilk Mill. Union Crossing, everybody knows the project Union Crossing, it's amazing. It reaches housing mark already to capacity and is now seeking commercial interest on the lower level, improving our North Canal District. This coming year, we will get creative with our surplus city property and look at public auctions, pre-permitting initiative, and generating more detailed requests for proposal. The request for proposal sometimes becomes a problem, so we're trying to make that a more attractive for business to look into it. A direct focus will be on property that must be expedited through land court. It used to take a long time, but now, to the effort that city attorney's office and other, is a lot less. And that will prove, by concentrating on those projects, that will improve our neighborhoods, our commercial development, and our overall tax base, which we need to continue improving. It's not a secret. For that, I have asked the Director of Economic Development, Patrick Blanchett, and our City Attorney, Charles Body, to hit up this critical task, because it's not easy, but we're going to do it. Lawrence continues to see a strong commercial investment with expansion of Commonwealth model. Charlie Daher, again, one of those people who say, I want to stay in Lawrence. Earning his home, and instead of being drafted to another community that perhaps are offering something that we cannot offer, which is deep economic incentive, he chooses to stay in Lawrence and expand. His new facility in Marston Street, I invite you to go by. It's beautiful. We also have the grand opening of CVS on Broadway, on-stage medical new corporate headquarters of Mary McStreet, and the state-of-the-art medical center at 25 Marston Street. And that just to name a few. And I will tell you, all of those good things are happening despite of the non-believers, despite of those who are blind of conscience. You cannot be blind of sight because it's there right in front of you. And all of those things could happen, are happening. Think what will be happening if all the good things that we do, all the good deed that goes on in Lawrence will be reported as such. There'll be a lot of people trying to invest some money in Lawrence. I will continue forward. In the coming years, we anxiously await the campus expansion of Northern Essex Community College and the continued Gateway District investment. That's going to be another big piece. It's already on the way. Moving forward this year, we will be focused on our small business revolving loan to help jumpstart local business and help our local economy, to continue helping our local economy. We also look to expand on our commitment to public service funding, which will support youth leadership to training and recreation. It's not a secret that public infrastructure it's on the rise. Despite limited resources, we have seen significant public investment in our city over the course of the past few years. No other administration has moved more rapidly and cost-efficiently on public infrastructure improvement than mine. And I keep saying mine for the second time. I hope you're taking note. At the end, I'll tell you why. and I am thankful for your support and those efforts. So it's really not mine, it's ours. We have seen unprecedented water and sewer improvement. Maybe some don't know that we have one of the best water in the state. That's true. Over the past 3 years, we have seen a lot of improvement. We'll continue to search so we might provide clean, safe, healthy drinking water to our residents. Keep in mind, with all of this improvement, our water, as I just said a minute ago, our water and sewer rate, despite the comment of sometime, are one of the lowest in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. One of the lowest. And we'll continue to make that our priority. The most significant project that the Department of Public Works undertook during the past year, and one that I am very happy to say have been a great success, put them under the water. And also, the number one is a new trash collection system. When I took office, there were few, or maybe many, who were offended when I said that there are some people that brag about the percentage of the population that is of a ethnicity group of another. And I said that if that is a percentage, then the percentage of the trash is our trash, and we need to clean it up. Not only have we engaged the community in helping us do that, and perhaps those who come to Lawrence tonight for the first time don't notice that, but those who live here or those who have been here before will notice that today we have a much, much cleaner city than we had before. And most recently, well, again, one of our best projects that our Department of Public Works undertake is our new trash collection system. We have new. Last fall, we went to fully automatic system city-wide, not one half for the city, and let the other half to ruin. City-wide. The whole city, it's one city. We got it not in the south, but it's one city. That was not an easy task. But by partnering with a new company, we are not only keeping our city clean, we are also saving money. In a short period, we have doubled our recycling rate and will continue to do so as we continue to enforce city ordinance. And I want to congratulate Joel Chala and also Henry Castillo, I believe they are sitting on the back. Two young men who don't tell you 3:30, 4:30, I need overtime, I need time. They just do the work and continue convincing people of the importance of recycling. And I take my hat off to them if I had a hat on, but they do a great work. Some of the highlights over this past year that I'd like to include or remind you of, because I'm sure most of you know, it's the repaving of 31st Street last summer in fall, 31. And it is sad to say when you go and look at the date that the state keep on record, or when those streets were repaved, or paved. It's amazing. You will not believe if you see it. Many, many years. The city used to do 1 or 2, 3 or so a year. I don't know why. But a more difficult question to ask is why nobody asked. In the coming month, we will continue an aggressive plan to address the need of each and every district citywide. We will stay focused on illegal dumping. We'll continue to work with our inspection department, who has made a huge dent on curbing this illegal activity. And I have to say, I don't think it's here, but if he's watching at home, if not, his friend will tell him, thank you, Mike Hanson, for all you do every day. Mike Hanson, the whole department has done a great job, but Mike Hanson goes out of his way to make sure that people get the message. Illegal dumping in Lawrence is not allowed. We will maintain our collaboration with the Department of Environment Protection through the purchase of surveillance camera, which we already have a few in place. But we will buy more in 2013. We'll strive to keep our neighborhood clean and safe at the same time because they serve two purposes. Community service is on the rise, as is the city of Lawrence moving forward. Even with the limited resources, as I said earlier, our city department continues to provide needed services throughout the year. I'm amazed at how many people we welcome into our library. I see the director sitting on the back. Our library, our senior center, recreation office, veteran office, and health department. People can count on us for many essential services, and it makes me feel better to know that we are able to provide those services. Our library continues to see a strong membership and daily use of its facility by all sectors of our community. This past year, the library kicked off a new online course through which have proven to be successful, and Director Maureen Nemo, I believe I saw Ms. Nemo here earlier, sitting on the back, is now partnering with the Lawrence Public School to increase participation and awareness of the library services and program. I didn't see John Isensis. I was talking about all the good work that DPW does, and he also needs to be commended for. At least I feel that way. Our senior center, which I hope, not long from now, I'll be visiting it more permanent, maybe becoming a member. I think I qualify for that now. Our senior center remains one of the best of its kind in the Commonwealth. The number of people who walk through its door on a daily basis continue to rise. This past year, another 400 members joined, and the center provided over 51,000 units of service to this community and to people from around the community, because not everybody that goes to the senior center is a Lawrence resident. We have visitors from surrounding community also, which is a good thing. We're good neighbors. From citizen classes to meals to health initiatives to my favorite program, salsa exercise classes. The director, Marta Velez, I don't know if Marta is here, continue to do great work with the board on behalf of our seniors. So Marta, thank you. Under the leadership of Director Jaime Melendez, I believe I saw Jaime earlier, Veteran Service has almost doubled the former military men and women service receiving benefit. What that means is that in the past, even though those veterans were in the area, the outreach to let them know that those services were available to them was not sufficient enough. I'm saying it, he doesn't, but I'm telling you. So he's doing a good job. The office is heavily involved in community activities and awareness for our veterans. We must continue to support our veterans, those on active duty and those coming home from conflict. And on that, I also have to say, thank you, Bill Collins, if you are here or if you're watching. Bill Collins volunteers at the Office of Veteran Service. He's there every single morning with a lot of passion, helping people, under the direction of Director Jaime Melendez. Recreation on the Nelson Ortiz, and I hope his mom's health gets better. Continue to provide our youth with outlets to enjoy. The office supports over 15,000 residents with recreational services and supervisory management skill development for youth during summer and vacation weeks and special events. The office will look to expand programs in the coming years to include new physical instructions and classes. The Mayo Health Task Force is a major part of the health discussion in our community, in our region, and at the state level. Our Community Development Department and Health Department provide great support to this team. But under the leadership of Vilma Laura, I didn't see Vilma, I don't know if she's here. We have gone to new levels. The task force helped organize countless awareness data and screening throughout the year. But most important, they focus on compiling an extensive and complete matrix and demographics health indicators and train to better identify areas of need and track performance for the future of our health in our community. Lawrence is on the rise, and Lawrence is moving forward. And I am glad that so many people see it day in and day out. In closing, let me tell you that I remain confident in the state of our city. Not because I say so, not because I feel it, not because I live it, but because those who you consider the expert have done the study, have done the measurement, and have concluded that we are on the rise, and that we have moved forward, and we have all the indicators that we will continue moving forward. I ask all of you to join me in refusing to allow distractions, and it's so hard for me to do sometimes, you know that, to take us away from the job at hand. I remain confident that in the coming years, we can expect to continue seeing ongoing fiscal recovery, reduced crime rate due to the leadership of our department, better school for our children, a steady stream of capital improvement, and new revenue that will enhance our quality of life. Thanks to the continuous hard work and dedication of this wonderful group of men and women that I have called my administration, and the loyalty and continued support from the people, the residents, the people that to me really matters, the residents of the great city of Lawrence. Lawrence is on the rise and will continue moving forward. Council President, members of the council, community as a whole, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to all your department heads. Thank you for everything that you do for this great city. Now Council, we're going to go up in the order on the agenda. Can we take a 3-minute recess?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.